Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, and sometimes I read stuff for Critical Blast Publishing. Somebody said something a few minutes ago about trying to do all things and doing none of them well. We're watching it. We're pushing it to the edge, but trying to stay there doing things well. I am looking rather fuzzy and faded tonight. I got to quit spitting on the camera lens, I think. Maybe that or spit on it some more. See if that helps out any there. Anyway, tonight, very special guests here. We've been meeting them one by one through crowdfunding efforts, but they are actually working behind the crowdfunding scenes to become a comic book publishing company called Bad Bug Media. So let us welcome one by one to the team, Mike and Alice Teener. How you doing? Yeah. Hello.
Hello to you too.
Yes, I am Borat. Talk very well. And we also have Alan and Dave and Scott and John Boy. No, he's not. That's
no. We didn't invite him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all got different projects going on. This is very cool. And by the way, they've all been very. I say a lot on the streams that, hey, this is a really cool project. You should get into this one. Every once in a while, I put my money where my mouth is, and I actually get the things that I tell you are very cool because I really do think they're very cool.
Yeah.
Alan, you know what this is, right?
It's a comic book written by a hack. I'm pretty sure.
Easily a 3 out of 5, Alan.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, but.
Were there 2 more missing? Because I've got the 3 out of the 5 that you're talking about.
Oh no. We had some. It's an inside joke. We had somebody reviewing all our books, and Alan's got the lowest score.
Yeah.
So we haven't let that go.
So we don't let that go ever. If anything, it's a motivator, right?
I don't know why. I mean, it's one of the better ones. It's one of the better ones. I thought maybe our motto would be, 3 out of 5 company, but slightly above average.
There's a Meatloaf song somewhere that comes to mind, but I can't remember what the name of it is. It's a 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. I don't know. I don't listen to him a whole bunch. So why did you guys? Why'd you get into this, Jim? There's no Jim. Yeah. You guys are actually, you got to understand, you guys are on a postage stamp for me, okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm bringing this laptop. So, but I can do this.
Just
now y'all
questions to Dave. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, if you direct all your questions to Dave, you'll get some really interesting answers.
That is true. That is true.
So, Mike, you are the head honcho there, right?
Yes, and can we all agree on that real quick?
No. I refuse to acknowledge it.
No.
Yeah. Dave answers to me. That really, I'm just, Dave's my direct report. Everybody else is a peer.
And then you answer to Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they answer to him and he answers to me, who's really, on the show.
Exactly.
It's true.
But the cool thing is, like, all these guys I just met periodically as time went on. I've known Alan the longest just because we've been friends. We live close by, and we've just done different things together. I think whatever I do, Alan jumps on and wants to do it too.
Well, you just have
So
to have
like if I
these
start a
there.
lawn mowing business, I feel
Yeah.
like Alan would be right there.
You could slowly quit and just let
we
him
would
do
we
it.
would we would form a landscaping company having no prior knowledge or skills required,
You're
and-
so much higher.
and be about 3 out of 5 in that too.
Yeah,
So,
3 out of 5 landscaping.
so no, comics for years. I've been doing it for like 6 years now, and then I met Scott really early on. He had a book called Legend of Everett Forge, which was really good. It's a steampunk western. So we liked each other's books in the beginning, and we just started communicating a lot. And we had the same kind of mindset, the same attitude. And for a long time, you know, we would kick around the idea of doing something like this, like what we're starting to do now, but we weren't really ready. Kind of wanted to build a reputation first and have a good library built up before we really pursued something like that. So I guess, you know, just this year just decided that now is the time to go ahead and start creating, you know, the label and start, you know, having some representation of, you know, what does Bad Bug look like? What's a Bad Bug book look like? Those sorts of things. And then Dave I met because he was just a letterer on one of the books. But Dave evolved into something much more than that, a friend and a colleague. And really, honestly, somebody who's done, I know,
Shut your mouth.
trust me.
Dave's
why I
mine,
stopped
not
eating.
yours.
I
Get your
stopped
own,
eating
Dave.
because I thought I was going to like waste my entire dinner throwing all this up. But he just over time, we just kind of synced up and realized that, you know, we shared a lot of the same ideologies, and he's been a really great like quality checker, I guess, of work, you know, almost like an editor. But he's definitely helped us stay refined and making sure that everything that, you know, leaves his hands goes to the printer. So he's the last person to touch all of our books.
Those are
So
his fingerprints I got. Okay.
that
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, trust me, there's lots of grammatical errors that he didn't catch and spelling errors too. So be ready for all those. But you know, everybody, we just kind of over time we met, and then I think what the decision to kind of come together as a group, I think everyone's gonna have different answers for that. I think for me, it's just to have this kind of relationship, this camaraderie, to create a singular vision of creating really fun, no BS books, and just making sure that entertainment is the focus beyond anything else.
So to get off the ground with something like this, you've really got to have these days a strong social media presence. Where are you guys? I looked on Twitter. Bad Bug Media is not you. That's some extermination company in the UK. I did see Bad Bug Media LLC. It had 1 follower. It was a month old, and it had tweeted nothing. So I'm like, no, that's not them either.
Oh, it is. That
is you.
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, that's how bad we are at this.
Well, everything you have to say is in the comments, right?
Yeah, I mean, we literally put bad in the title, man. I mean, like that's we don't know what we're doing.
And birds eat
Well-
bugs, so maybe Twitter is not safe.
There you go. Well, at least you know you were smart enough to call it Bad Bug, so you come alphabetically in the catalog before Bad Idea.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So what was the first Bad Bug book? The first Bad Bug book I think I ran into was Midnight Highway.
Yeah. Black Jackets was the first thing that I did. I had a book series I did before it, but that was just me kind of testing the waters, seeing if I was going to get into comics. And then I did Black Jackets, and that generated a lot more interest in the previous book that I made. And then as time went on, there was more ideas I wanted to explore. The next series that I put out was Undercity Tales, which Scott wrote. So I partnered with Scott on the story, and I really thought Scott would be the right writer for the premise. And so I reached out to him, and that's when we really started to develop a cooperative working relationship.
Now, you do a lot of crowdfunding with each of the books, and I'm stumbling here because I'm trying to share a screen as I talk. There we go. But you can buy the back issues directly from Bad Bug, right there on badbugmedia.com, I believe is the site. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, do you want to tell them what the first book ever sold on the website was? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Why don't you? So the funny thing is, like, so we haven't really shown anybody the site because we're still building it, but it's accessible, and people can make purchases from it. But like, it was weird because one day suddenly I got this notification that we had sold a book. I'm like, how's that possible? We have not like shared the site with anybody. So I pull it up, and I don't remember the name of the person, but I need to do something about that because I feel like they should get something for being our first customer. But it was Alan's book, Pocus Hocus. So I said the group chat.
Alan bought it.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah,
It was me.
I said to the group chat, I'm like, who shared the website? Like, because we weren't supposed to share it yet. And then I don't know who admitted to it, but yeah, Alan got the first purchase, so I'm going to assume it was Alan.
It was probably me.
Probably because I know when we talked with Alan in the past, we got the website and we used it. We directed people to it.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks a lot, Alan.
Whatever.
So maybe
so sorry for trying to drive brand awareness, Mr. CEO.
The CEO.
Now, Bad Bug is it's not a universe as I understand it. Not like the DC universe or the Marvel universe. It's an imprint.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it right now. It's more like a seal of approval or a seal of endorsement of this story, that sort of thing right now. It's a quality seal, really. It just lets you know that, hey, this is something that we felt was of quality, and we wanted to put our beautifully designed logo by Dave Lentz on it. And that obviously that's that expanding catalog that you can see. So Midnight Highway, Pocus Hocus was really the first thing that we brought into Bad Bug that wasn't, I was not attached at all. I had nothing to do with it. And Alan and his crew did a really good job of putting out a really fun and entertaining book. So we've got more to announce. There's more books that will be added to the library that don't really involve necessarily everybody that's on this call, but it really was us at the start really contributing to all the material.
Jay Burns is in the chat. Was hoping for a highway to Hocus, and the Midnight Highway is that interesting tale where the highway goes through realities. If you ever do want to have a bad bug infestation thing, Hocus can cast a spell and might end up on the highway to Undercity. You never
there you go.
You never quite know how it might work out.
That's the beauty of it, is that at any point in time,
we could get real weird with it.
Right?
Yeah,
that would be fun. But yeah,
not through the hexachrome.
Something that I think early on we were just really, and we're still this way, just making sure that we complete a series. If it's a limited series, complete that. Don't have any plans to do any more than making sure that the thing that's right in front of us is good first. So we don't plan too far ahead, and we've really not really talked about anything as far as stories converging or meeting at any point. But conveniently, they're all dealing with like they're either supernatural in nature, so there's a clear, easy path there for them all to intersect.
Sure.
So there's always a chance of those things. I guess it would have to come down to if we actually ever have fans and that request that sort of thing. Fans first, we need those, and
Maybe
then
they'll write like the fan, like stories.
Yeah, put Hocus on the highway, and then
there you go.
I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out.
So other than the website, though, are you guys like distributing through Diamond? Getting into the quote unquote real comic book stores.
So Alan, this might be a you question, but I'll go ahead and start with like Diamond. We're not doing yet. There's the agreements that you have through Diamond are multifaceted, and you have to have a good surplus of money built up first to.
Yeah, you have to sign the damned contract.
Yes. You do.
Yeah. There you go. That's right. So, but Alan, I mean, if you want to share, you've been reaching out to retailers directly, right?
So working hand in hand with Dave on a lot of this stuff, because as with everything that we've ever done with Bad Bug, Dave has been a guiding light and blah, 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 blah. So, it's just guerrilla marketing. It's cold calling. You make relationships with people in other states, other areas, and you just kind of ask them about their local comic scene and what they think we could do. Maybe put us in contact with their store. So we've already reached out to a couple other places, and Dave actually got us into his LGS. So that's been awesome.
So you guys, you're signing contracts with demons, and currently you've killed Santa Claus. What? Do you have any happy books? Come on, where's the optimism? This is like this is like DC's Rebirth, but only lasting a month instead of 6. Scott, you're the one killing Santa. You want to jump in on that one?
I'm not happy that I had to, but yeah, I had to do what I had to do. I think
Santa was talking smack.
He was. He got too big for his own britches, so I had to bring him down a peg.
Scott got a call said, "I know when you've been bad or good."
Exactly.
I see you when you're sleeping.
I got coal one year, and I'm still pissed about it. But I mean, I don't know. I think like I've always said, Bad Bug's bringing you stuff that I think Alice coined it, so I stole it from her. But it's giving you stories you didn't know you wanted. So Pocus, Undercity, Midnight Highway, titles like that never even dawned on me that would be interesting to me. Again, Santa getting murdered never dawned on me until it did. I think Bad Bug's hitting that sweet spot that I don't think a lot of indie creators are hitting yet. So.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I think all the books have in common, and it does feel like a true commonality when you read them, because they all have the same essence in them, is that they're books that wouldn't fit in anywhere else.
Exactly.
I think the best place they could have possibly fitting in would have been old school Vertigo, and even then they're more interesting. Because I remember Vertigo started out with some interesting books, and then it was like, we have to try to be Vertigo, and it got like super dense to read. This is not that. This is fun stuff. You got an elf on a revenge quest. You have a disenchanted sorcerer with demonic powers who's got daddy issues.
Well, when you put it that way, right?
Right. I mean, that's just fun, right?
Yeah, but they're all well drawn, well written, folks. I'm selling this to you in the chat, so hit up the store. Make them get some more dings on their whatever, the Shopify or whatever it is that they're using. Sell books, guys. Sell books. You don't even look. Here's the thing. Normally, I'm asking you to pledge towards books. These books are done, except for Periwinkle. If somebody wants to throw me a link to Periwinkle's Kickstarter, I'll throw it out in the chat here.
Yeah, I got it right here. I'll send it to you.
Toss it in the private chat here, and then people can go look at Periwinkle. We'll probably even bring it up just as a Christmas farewell at the end of the stream here.
I think if you guys could get a glimpse into the conversations that the Bad Bug team has and the vetting process of stories, it would give you a clue as to what not only like Mike and the team are looking for, but what what we have in store for you. We don't, we'll look at a title and be like, all right, that's maybe been done before. And we'll look at titles and be like, this doesn't fit anywhere on the spectrum. And then those are the ones we're like, hell yeah, pick those. Definitely. I would love to share some of those conversations we've had, but a lot of them are not. Dave's shaking his head. A lot of them are not.
We could ruin Dave's career. That's the kind of power we have over Dave. That's why he's so quiet right now.
That doesn't paint me in a very good light at all.
No, but they are a friggin' blast to have those conversations. I love working with this team. The titles we are eyeballing the most are just like outcasts that wouldn't fit anywhere else, and I think those are the ones that people are going to want to read.
Yeah, and I think the something unique that we do is instead of everyone kind of branching off and doing their own thing, we ask for everyone's feedback. So we'll send page concepts to everyone, and naturally, we're all just waiting for Dave's feedback. Is really what it is. He's been doing this the longest, so we're just like, Dave, does this please us to the throne?
It's almost like y'all are in a bullpen, so to speak, working together.
Yeah, we all kind of serve as each other's editors in some facets. Of course, Dave, he's got the best eye for it, so he's the final say on a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think we all give each other, feedback. For instance, I sent some initial concept art for Krampus's Castle to the team. Another one of those interesting conversations that came out of that. But the evolution of ideas that comes from just those brainstorming sessions, it makes, I think, the titles that much more superior, or that much.
Yeah, and
more
we do the same thing even with scripts. I sent the script for Pocus 3 to everybody here before I even sent it to the team that's actually working on it. So, well, granted, Dave's working on it, but before I even sent it to Brian or Jason, just because I wanted to make sure it still fit the flow of everything, and I wanted everyone's feedback on it first. And that's just how I feel like we get the best possible product for what we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Well said.
Yeah.
So how do you guys go around looking for new titles, or even knowing when it's time to go look for a new title? Do you look within and saying, hey, we need new ideas? Or, is there like, do you actually take submissions from other places, say, hey, I'd like to publish this. Is Bad Bug interested?
This is a mic thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll get this one. So we all are recruiters. Dave's tried to coerce people, I think, into trying to align with us. I think, Caleb, right? I think we were trying to.
Yeah. I was sweet talking to him the other day.
I know, he's difficult. I'll go send you all the screen grabs of our conversation. He's probably even watching us right now. But it's if we believe in it, then we we'll push for it. So we'll use Scott's book as an example. We all stopped what we were doing and invested in Periwinkle, and that's really the only thing we've really been pushing and discussing. And Alan's done a great job of reaching out to a lot of different people to partner Scott with, so that we can promote Periwinkle. So you have Critical Blast as an example now, but Alan's done a really good job of creating relationships from a press release level and PR level with a lot of different companies and podcasts and things like that. So the way that we look at it when we're trying to bring in other books and other creators is, it's not just a traditional publisher where we just split some of the profit or anything like that. We want the creator to have full ownership and they get the profits, but what we get out of it is branding, and that's what we care about more than money right now. But it is our job to help the creator make money. So that's where the quality assurance part comes in. And that's why there's so many of us that are getting our hands on scripts and tweaking things and adjusting things all the time, because we want to make sure that it goes out into the world and it really feels like Bad Bug. And that's kind of the important thing that we want to get across right now, is we want people to look at a book and say, wow, that seems like that's a Bad Bug book. So when we're reaching out to some of the creators that have already started to work on projects that we're going to release, they already kind of know what to expect because they've seen the catalog and they kind of know what our vibe is and what our intentions are. So that's kind of helped us, I think, in terms of who we've attracted as creators, like the creators that we've actually pulled in. And it's also helped us kind of get a better synergy of what we're trying to do as we continue to build the brand through, this next year. So Scott's reached out to creators. I've reached out to creators. And it doesn't necessarily have to start with any one person. Like we all are missionaries right now when it comes to recruiting for this, for the Bad Bug.
And there's one title I'm hunting, so if that person's watching, I'm still coming for you. So
God,
we've messaged a few and we've said, hey, listen, we're really interested in this, but because we're untested and unproven to a certain extent, I suppose there's probably a little bit of hesitancy there because we're new, we're young. But what I've explained to creators that have expressed interest is, listen, you're going to get a group of people that are fully committed to your book that will we will do everything that we can to make sure that you get the right kind of support. And even if some of that comes down to monetary support, I've done that before with some of these creators to help get their projects running. You know, the deal's not the same for everybody. You know, it just depends on if we really believe in the book, the creator. If we really believe in the creator, we'll do what we can. We'll bend over backwards to make sure that we get this thing out there in the light of day.
Is Bad Book something that would have been possible without the crowdfunding market?
No. We've met so many people. Me personally, I've met so many people through crowdfunding specifically, and have learned so much about marketing because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I think, where what's the rule? Like, 10% of all businesses will make it and 90% will fail. This is that in a rush, because it comes out and everybody's like, finally, I can make my comic book because now it's easy. I just, ask people to send me money and I'll make it. And I say that for the people who've never done it before, but even for the people who have done it before, like, I've written comics or I've drawn comics. You've never had to do your own marketing. Somebody always did that for you. You never had to do your own shipping. Somebody else did that for you. You didn't have to go to the printer and proof things and say, oh, this paper looks great, or hey, run this through again. You didn't have to make the decisions between saddle stitching and prestige format. It's a lot of work. Were you prepared for that? And how were you prepared for that when you decided to make an imprint and go into publishing here?
So I guess I'd go back to, the fact that I've been doing it for 6 years. Dave, I feel like you've been doing this longer than 6 years, right?
I mean, comics, no, but graphic design for 15 years.
Yeah.
So publishing in a variety of formats, other than comics, but now it's just comics. So
I would say that's kind of this is a joint answer. I think Dave could probably elaborate a little bit on quality assurance front, but wisdom's something that you gain from time. You don't, unless you're me, I was born wise, but
God, I hate you so much.
I know, right? But for everybody else here, they all had to make a lot of mistakes. Unfortunately, because I was already wise, I didn't need to learn from it, but they did. So that was important. But I've made lots of mistakes. I've done a lot of things the wrong way, and Dave's done a great job of pointing out when I've made bad decisions on things
all the time, whenever I can.
Yeah, so, that's what he just hunts for it.
I think there's been different things that have happened just in the last year where we've been like, okay, going forward, we're going to do this way because we learned from a mistake. So I think, that's for us. When I finally asked everybody if they wanted to be a part of it is when I felt like we were ready to go ahead, start doing this from a grassroots level, at least first, and then have some clear definitions of everybody's role in the group, making sure everybody has a zone, and then just see how the pieces fall and see how the whole machine works right now. So that's kind of what we've been doing in 2021, is getting everybody into a role clarity. And then from there, we start thinking about, the business implications of it and what we're going to do to make sure that we have increased outreach to retailers and things of that nature. And eventually getting into Diamond, I would suppose, is definitely a goal. But we knew that we at least wanted to be part of this group here and start branding.
There are other distributors other than Diamond, by the way.
Yes, I've heard. And once we know for sure what we want to do long term, we'll definitely start reaching out to all that. The good thing is right now is like we wanted to. The first thing was getting everything trademarked. We wanted to make sure that we had everything trademarked. We're still in the process of that. Got an accountant that's going to help get all of our licenses, taxes, all that stuff figured out. And then we just needed to start determining costs per unit and making sure that we weren't just spending money and without any clear path of making money. So that's
Yeah.
the phase that we're in right now is all of that. And we're in a phase of growth. So we have to invest. You have to spend money to make money. So we're in the spend money phase right now.
Yeah,
Isn't it
and I was going
fun?
to ask. Yeah. Oh, I love spending other people's money. I mean, spending money. Yeah. Speaking of growth, though, I was just about to ask that because currently it seems like it's been, this is the new bad bug book. Let's everybody focus on the new bad bug book, and then it'd be like, okay, here's the new bad bug book, and it's all there. Eventually, and hopefully soon, it's going to get to the point where, you know, Alan's going to say, hey, here's the new Hocus book, and Scott's going to say, I've got the new Periwinkle ready to go, and you're going to say, oh, I got Midnight Highway ready to go, and they're all going to be out there at the same time, and you're going to have to start, you know, dividing attention and multitasking and still pushing them just as hard as you were for one. Or is the infrastructure in place for that?
That's what we're working on right now, because we already ran into that issue. Actually, we came up with a good plan, and we're still in that phase of experimentation too, because our library is not that big, but it's going to get a lot bigger in 2022. And January is like a great starting point for that. So we wasted no time. So in January, we've got a joint campaign structure where we're going to run 2 campaigns at the same time and incentivize people to back both by getting a third book from us.
What's one of the books, Mike, that we're running?
Oh, one of those books would be Hocus Hocus 3.
Yay!
Yay! And then he couldn't join us on today's call, but you know, one of the people that just joined the Bad Bug group, Jason Pell, if he's listening, hey Jason. If not, he'll watch it later. We'll make him. But he came to us with a really great trade that we're going to help support and make sure that gets the proper funding that it needs. And our goal is just to increase the outreach of, you know, his customer base and merge it with the Bad Bug, customer base. So the whole thing is we're trying to find creators with followings, but we're also looking for people that want to cross promote and support others. And Jason's been that 100%, and Alan has too. So it's kind of a great time to experiment because it's 2 really supportive, selfless creators working together to promote the branding while also funding their own books. So it's a great experiment, and I'm pretty confident that both will be successful. But it's a big time for us to obviously divide our attention amongst multiple books at the same time because of that.
Yeah, cross promoting is something that I've been trying to share with other crowdfunders, you know, who just have their own book, and one of the things that they're not there. You remember the X-Men cards that came out in the 90s from Fleer, and you collected them all and you put them in your little page, and when you had the first 9, it was one picture, and I said, why don't somebody, you know, you get with 8 other creators, have somebody draw one big picture of all 9 of your characters, and then each of you put out your card with your campaign. And now it's like, oh, I've got this card. Where are the other 8? Oh, they're on these other 8 campaigns I didn't know about. Now I have to go back them all because we are obsessive, compulsive, diseased creatures who collect these things, and we're driven to. But you're in a better position to do something like that because you're at the top of a group of people already crowdfunding individually. It's something like, you know, you could, hey, here's a Hocus card and here's a Periwinkle card. Oh, look, they form, you know, 2/9 of a card panel, and maybe you don't have nine campaigns all going at the same time, of course, but you know, you can get the next card in the next Hocus, you could get the next card in the next Periwinkle, and just, you know, build this image of some sort.
Write that down real quick, would you?
I
think you already wrote it down. I'm pretty sure.
This is what I do, Mike.
RJ, we love you because, you know, you pitch your ideas live, and it's smart because that way you have proof that we have to give you credit for the idea, no matter what it is. It's really smart.
I stole your Slayer name, and I've been using that for Periwinkle's Axe. So I guess I owe you something.
Well, just send the book when it's done because I'll be on.
Oh
the
yeah,
record
you'll
there.
get one. No
So-
doubt, you'll get it.
But to kind of piggyback off that is that we've been talking about a lot of different things that would help merge all the properties together, not necessarily from like a creative or narrative standpoint, but just from a branding standpoint. I mean, I just proposed an idea to him yesterday of something that would be really fun that all the books would have is augmented reality covers. So every issue, the main cover, not covers B, C, or D or whatever variants, but the main cover will always be an augmented reality cover. So we did it with Midnight Highway #2, and a lot of people really, really liked that. And it's relatively affordable. And we have a guy that does all of our campaign videos. So the decision to do that just seemed pretty logical. But I can't remember if everybody said yay or nay to that. I don't know. Or was everybody? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think
Scott
we did.
will just say yay to everything. Scott's definitely the yes man. He's my yes man.
You might have,
Every leader needs one.
Get my back with
So
whatever
that
we
kind of like actually you saying the yes man, I really want Dave to speak about his quality control and how he makes sure that everything's no for real. I think that's something
Yeah.
that really needs to be
He's
highlighted.
been quiet. We have not given Dave an opportunity to speak.
Yeah,
And
Dave,
he has
just talk
a lot-
about how bad we are and how hard you have to work to make sure we're not.
Here's
That
Dave's
is-
opportunity.
There you go.
It's just Dave.
that is
Talk about how much you love me.
All right,
Oh,
Dave,
God.
let it fly.
You are all the worst except for Alan and Alice.
Cut him off.
Alice
Cut him
never
off.
says, yeah, Alice never says a bad thing about me, and Alan is, he's Alan. He loves everybody, just not equally. He loves me the most.
Yeah, you are my favorite.
But yes, you are all terrible. I can't tell you how many times I've had to fix Mike's PDFs because they're just bad. They're just bad. They look like 8-bit Nintendo, and I have to send them back to quality control, which is myself, and fix them.
The quality
That's,
control department is very small. Yeah.
It is. I have a small cubicle.
Now, I want to shout out something too, though. But like Dave's got a book that's coming out through us too. So we talked about Periwinkle. We talked about Pocus Hocus, but Dave came to me with an idea. And I didn't know what he was doing at first. He was just like, "Hey, I've got this idea," and then I was like, "Okay, that sounds cool." He's like, "Yeah, well, kind of want you to write it or write with me." Like he kind of sheepishly threw that in. It's like, "I think I want you to be a part of this." He's like, "Everybody else has turned it down, so I'm just going to try you this time." And
Nobody else wants it, so now
Yeah,
you
may
do
as well
have
just go to
but
bed.
I mean,
bugger.
we're offering
That's our sweet
that.
spot.
Yeah, we
I
get
would
the
love to have
Island
Dave
of
talk
Misfit
about it.
creators.
I really would love Dave to talk about because this is really his project, and we are offering an ash can of it as a reward for everybody that backs the Bearskin campaign and the Pocus Hocus campaign in January. So everybody's going to get a unique version of the book, not completed. It's a first set of pages with it, but it's a collector's item. Really, it's the first Bad Bug collector's item, I guess is the best way to put it. So, Dave, why don't you talk about the book a little bit?
Well, I'll give you the cliff notes just because, I actually didn't write it. I just gave Mike the idea, like he said, and then he actually did all the hard work. Stop me if I'm wrong, but this is a book about a band who is from Asgard. They get kicked out because they suck. And to redeem themselves, they have to do a battle of the bands on Earth to regain entry back into Asgard. Is that what we decided?
rock and roll.
Ragnarok and roll.
Yeah.
It's went through so many forms, and I love that this is how much involvement Dave has with it that he doesn't even know the plot.
No,
What's
I
it
don't.
about?
He's too busy
I've
fixing
told-
my PDFs to pay attention to.
When you said the
That's
script, you're
right.
like, "I can't even read."
He's not even reading the scripts I sent him. He's like,
Nope,
yeah.
nope.
was like-
I told you I'll pepper in some jokes when I letter it. That's what's gonna happen.
We've been having
bigger
some
you
fun
get.
though. Like he's being really humble right now, but he's definitely helped us shape the script quite a bit.
He's quality control, and trust me, the bigger you get, the more important quality control is. I interviewed one of my favorite graphic novelists, and I won't mention his name, but he had a new book that came out through Scholastic, and I got the hardcover in advance to read it. And I got to this section, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And I flip forward, flip backward, flip forward. I thought, oh, they got pages out of sequence. So I emailed the PR guy and said, hey, when you go to actual press, beyond the arcs, note that these pages are out of sequence. He emailed me back, says, thank you, we will fix that. Yeah. So then I had the interview. And then after the interview, we did the after show thing, because sometimes we hang around and talk. And he said, yeah, I got my book right here. It's like, oh, is that the ARC copy? He's like, ARC copy? I was like, yeah, the one that had the pages. He said, oh, that was you. He's like, they pulped 40,000 copies of this hardcover.
Oh. Oh.
And some junior editor probably lost a job. Hopefully not. But
oh no.
Well, thankfully, Dave's not somebody that would be difficult to fire.
Yeah, you just kick me out of the group chat and I'm
conversation.
Fine. Dave's like finally some sleep.
Yeah. Dave, can I see you in my office?
Here we are.
We're already there.
But
that's the bathroom. So.
But like Dave, like, what's great about it is like everybody has a role. Like Alice, helped create Dead End Moon.
Yeah, Alice has been kind of quiet. We need to hear more from her.
Sure.
Ask me anything.
Be careful with that. She does not have a filter.
Get the bleep button ready.
Further away from the mic.
Use it all when I'm teaching, so the outside of that world is not there.
But what do you do for us? What do you do in Backbug?
I feel like what I physically do most is probably helping to get all the shipping and all that kind of distribution stuff.
And keep it organized, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of that. In the chats, I feel like I'm just really critical all the time. and like just coming up with different one of the things I enjoy is coming up with the rewards and things like that for the Kickstarters. And I personally feel like I'm partial quality control just because I am so critical of everything, almost everything, the things that I feel like I have the most expertise in. Since I'm no writer, I don't feel like I can be as critical about that unless there's just a really dumb line in something, which I will then say like that's
because you're a reader.
Use that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a writer. If you're the reader, that's who the writer's trying to reach. And if he's not doing it,
then I can say for sure, like, no, this makes no sense. You should maybe do this. But I feel like I'm kind of a person that gets things bounced off of some, especially with him being my husband, because sometimes he'll bring things up to me and then I'll be like, yes, no, maybe let's ask the group, let's ask this person, that person, and things like that. But I don't know. I don't really, when I look at how much everybody else here does stuff, I don't feel like I do a whole lot. And then Michael has to tell me, no, you do this and that. So I guess.
Well, my favorite thing is you.
I trust him. It's true.
The problem, what's really irritating me with this whole group is how humble they're all being, because they're not really that way. I mean, they're very arrogant in our group chat. They're all. It's.
Which one's the facade?
Battle of the egos is really what. I might even change the chat group name to that, but. Everybody has done quite a bit. Alice has contributed creatively to a few books. Dead End Moon was a split. It was a baby between her, me, and Scott. So, helping with the supplies and being like a supply coordinator and helping with shipping and distribution.
Getting all the paper cuts.
Getting all the paper cuts.
Oh yeah, that's important stuff. We got people in the chat here. Pedro Ang says, "Hi guys, the books look fantastic."
Thank you.
Pedro is the creator behind Tropical Magics. We are handling his campaign. We're actually running his crowdfunder for him as well.
Cool.
Clown World is here, says he found out about Periwinkle through one of our streams and backed the hardcover. The story looks like fun, and how could you not love the art? So yeah, glad to help people discover Bad Bug.
Thank you. And we appreciate that a lot. Literally, I think I do feel like we're successful. I feel like we've chosen the right artists for our books and the right writers. We can say that with confidence. Do we think we're perfect? No way. Yeah. But we're working on it.
Well, speaking of Periwinkle, the current campaign for Bad Bug, actually a Bad Bug. Okay, so I don't know who William is, but
None of us do.
I expected the thing to be
It's
run by
Shadow,
Bad Book.
Mike.
Both
Think of
Bill
it as
Tina.
like
Oh, okay.
it's the other me.
But you
He
guys
doesn't
have
have a
made
beard or anything.
you guys have exceeded your goal. So congratulations. This is going to happen. 238 backers. And go ahead, Scott, and tell us what this story is about now that it's the thing in front of us all. Get some backers real
Gladly,
quick
thank
here.
you. Yeah, finally I get to talk. Just kidding. No, it's Krampus and
Shut up, Scott.
Bellstickle. Fucking Dave. Krampus and Bellstickle. They kill Santa. They organize a coup. Half the elves go with them. Half don't. And then there's one elf that remains behind, and he's super pissed off, and that's Mr. Periwinkle himself. And he goes on a revenge crusade and starts going off, knocking off his naughty list one by one. So we catch him about midway through his naughty list. And so now he's going to face off against Bellstickle and Krampus. He's got quite the feat in front of him because they're both quite intimidating.
Yeah, they're big, and he's an elf. I don't know how big an elf he is because he's with another elf right now, so there's no perspective to work off.
We got. Oh yes, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that one thing I've noticed about the campaigns you guys run is that you have you do great comics and then you throw in great add-ons. A lot of people, like they're focusing on like, oh, we've got a really cool print here. Oh, and you can get it if you buy the comic. Like I got this last night in the mail.
Oh,
Nice.
It's on my hat. And like a dumbass, I went out and checked the mail like after dark.
Oh yeah, you look like a beacon in the light.
Yeah, because I brought this in and I put it like on top of the light here. I'm like, I'm getting ready to go to bed. Let's see how this glows. That thing kept me up for an hour.
Yeah,
that thing.
Bright. I warned you when you backed it. I warned you. I said that thing is crazy bright. Actually, I think Will told you too, like how fast that thing works.
It was amazingly bright. It's like,
yeah.
I did not. Last thing I had the dark, I got out of a cereal box, and you had to like squint at it to see it glow. And I'm scrolling to get to my point here. There it is. With Periwinkle, you can get Santa's sleigh. This is the this is the North Pole stick and the broken off piece of Sleigh Runner turned into an instrument of death.
Oh yeah, yep. And I think we only got like one left, right, Mike?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we've only got one left.
That's awesome.
So
it's available as an add-on. So if you don't want to go for the Santa sleigh tier, you can just add that on. I think it's pretty cool. And then that was something I mentioned on another podcast too. Is like with indies, you get some like really cool homegrown. Like Alan's got, Horace. What do you call them? Like little plushy type
t-shirts.
Yeah, I mean like cool,
and t-shirt too.
And t-shirts too. Yeah, I mean you're not gonna find the quality. Like those are handmade little plushy guys. Like you're not gonna find that from DC, Marvel, or any of that nonsense. So it's just cool, one of a kind, homegrown, handmade. I mean that's why indie's such a blast. And like this thing, like the axe, like handmade out of wood, one of a kind. They won't be made again. Stuff like that. It's just how cool would that be to own that? Like when eventually, maybe hopefully this becomes someone's favorite series, and just to have something that at the birth of the series you get to own and have a piece of, and it's just I don't know. That's why I love indie so much. I'd rather spend all my money towards that than just kind of the same regurgitated stuff you get from the mainstream.
Yeah. And I know we kind of talked about this before too. RJ, can you show us the first page of Periwinkle?
Yeah.
The campaign page. Yeah.
Right here. This beautiful.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, scroll down just until we get to the snow. Look at that lettering. Look at that. Who did that? Who in this chat did that?
Don't I
ended
hate
up my-
complimenting that guy. I hate complimenting Dave, but he truly is a freaking magician. Like, because in the script I wrote, that's the title on the top of the page. Dave messages me. He's like, it just didn't fit. He's like, what do you think of this? I'm like, Jesus
like Dave.
Christ, man. Yeah, I'm like, holy, like the last thing I thought of, and it's so like Suicide Squad-y. It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, neither Arturo nor myself had that plan, so that's just chef's kiss stuff right there.
Now that you brought attention to it, the next time he has to do this, it's going to be drawn in the snow and yellow.
Yes. That's probably the first edit.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then decided against it.
Have a dog walking away. Yeah, okay.
Poor guy.
But yeah, this is again one of these really cool books. Jay Burns in the chat just said talk about the animation at the beginning of it. That animation was done was awesome, by the way. It makes me really want to see a Periwinkle animated series. Back to hardcover on the first day. So excited for this. Well, what we need now are Periwinkle. We need the entire run of Periwinkle Funko Pops so that I can do a Rankin Bass stop motion. But yeah, Jay, from your lips to Netflix's ears, maybe.
God, yeah, we love Jay. Jay's the best. But yeah, I totally agree. Jared, he did that animation, and yeah, if we could get him to do a feature length, that'd be friggin' amazing.
He said something about wanting to make a short for Periwinkle. I forgot to tell you that.
Well, now's a good time to tell us, Mike.
Yeah,
In front of the world.
Yeah. Well, but it's not set in stone yet, but he brought it up that he might want to.
Yeah, we've gotten a ton of compliments on that thing. So that would be an amazing thing to pursue.
Just to point out, Jared too, like Prevalent Mind Studios is his company. That's who you contact if you wanted him to do some work for you. I mean, he's done a lot of our animated trailers for a lot of our projects. He's going to continue to do them. He's also the one that would be doing all of our augmented reality covers. So he's not on this call, but he's definitely a creative component to the group for sure because of how much he has done for us so far. So
just one more shout out to him too is that he didn't read the script or anything when he made that short. So that was just him looking at those initial pages.
Knocked it out of the park, man. Yeah.
With no dialogue. He knew nothing about anything on it. He just surmised that from what he saw. So just a shout out with that creative genius.
Since we've talked about it so much, and now the people in the chat have got to be wondering, how good is this animation? How good is this short? Let's show it.
Yes.
After centuries of Christmas, we would join forces with Krampus to take control of the North Pole. Those who died that day would not come back to haunt us. It would be the one we left alive.
Every year for the past 3 seasons, we've taken Joey on a tour of the toy sections of all the department stores.
Oh, well, now, ain't that nice?
Is this part of your game?
No, I don't know nothing about that. Did you do that? What did you do? What are you up to now, young man?
Just a little game that Joey played on us, Mrs. McNulty. A game that sort of backfired.
Oh, gee. And I thought I had it planned so good.
You did, Joey. You just made one mistake.
Only one? What?
Those notes were all in your own handwriting. The same handwriting you used in your notebook.
What do you know?
Now, there may be some of you who haven't yet completed your Christmas shopping.
Ah, good. I was worried you would forget about me. I was afraid I'd have to use this. Come. Sorry I'm late. I'm ready.
Beautiful.
Links in the chat, people. Links in the chat. Go! Throw money at Periwinkle. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see that as a series or a mini series. Hopefully, not a series. It shouldn't take an unending quest to. But
yeah, Mike, we're gonna talk off camera about that. I'm intrigued.
So Alan, how are you going to step up to promote Pocus Hocus in the light of that trailer?
Mike, am I allowed to talk about this, or should we save it?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, well, we're already working on a trailer right now for an animated trailer for Pocus 3. So
wonderful.
Yeah, we are very excited. The Brian and Jason and Dave are already hammering away at Pocus 3, and I have a feeling that we're pacing to probably have the comic very close to completed by the time the campaign launches. So that means a quicker turnaround time. So we're all just crazy excited, which means 4 will be here that much closer.
And 3 launches when?
We're looking at mid to late January as of right now, because we're trying to really launch it with Bearskin.
Okay.
Yep.
And Scott, Periwinkle is the first of a couple of books, right? It's a little bit of an ongoing.
Yeah, we have prequels and sequels in mind. Yep.
Okay, but in this book here, is this 80 pages? Is that?
Yeah, that's a contained story. Yeah, you're gonna get the whole
contained story.
Yeah, yep.
Awesome. Hardcovers available, folks. Look, just look. Just type in badbugmedia.com, and then after it comes up, click that little star at the end of your URL bar. Throw it in your bookmarks. Make it a place you go to all the time. And then follow Bad Bug Media LLC on Twitter, because if they get more followers than they've got tweets, then maybe they'll start using their Twitter account.
One more thing with the title. You can get His Name is Wrath with Periwinkle, which is Mike's brainchild. So that alone is worth going to Periwinkle for. So you can get the 80 pager and that new IP from Mike all in one Kickstarter. So, and it's a mech against the legions of hell. So I don't think I need it any more than that.
Right?
Yeah.
Pete, who doesn't love mechs? Absolutely. Yep. Glacier Mountain Comics. Yep. It's not about me. It's always about the guests. All I do is click buttons and ask questions. But thank you for being in the chat, man. So that's pretty much an hour. Is there anything about Bad Bug that we haven't talked about? What you guys are planning to do, or what people should be looking for next?
2022 is stacked. Like, we have got so many books going out next year that we're working on right now. And I would just say that we are at the phase that we're at now because we've got people that have got our backs, which we really appreciate a lot. And we want to make sure that we make good on that. We want to continue to entertain everybody, and we want to make sure that everybody has fun every time they pick up a Bad Bug book. Like, that's the mantra, is that it has to be wild. It has to be fun. For that reason, we also want to just put a call out there, that if there's anybody that would love to, align with us and seek our support and be part of Bad Bug, I mean, we're all ears for that. We want to grow. We want to be a canopy of creators that are like-minded and are intent with making comics. So we want to build that network. So we're definitely looking for more books and more ideas right now, and I think we'll continue to do that through 2022. So I just wanted to throw that out there so that we didn't skirt that issue. We definitely want to grow.
Want to grow, get more people, become a giant. Just become, a giant bug. Yes,
a huge one.
You'll be known as them in the future. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come out here and talk, because I did want to, like I said, I'd seen enough Bad Bug that I was like, you know what, just get the gang together and talk about it as a unit and get that word out there that this entity that is you exists for people who love comics. I think it's been a fun discussion. I can't wait to see where you guys go. Folks in the chat, thank you so much for being here tonight. we don't have a show without you. Definitely follow Bad Bug Media. Go check out Periwinkle on Kickstarter and watch for Pocus Hocus 3. I've gotten to where I can actually say that, Alan.
Yeah, it feels weird
it's
saying
impressive.
Hocus Pocus now, right?
Yeah,
It is for me. Yeah, yeah. Dave and I were actually talking about that the other day. He heard someone say Hocus Pocus, and he's like, "That's wrong."
No. My
rewired.
my son was watching Frosty, and the rabbit's name is Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
and so I'm like, nope, that's not right.
The rabbit's name is Horace.
Yeah, clearly.
That's the one.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody in the chat, again, thank you. And as always, while you were here,